Qur'anun Mubin. Qur'anun Mubin means a recitation, a clear recitation. Now, this word Mubin in Surah Yasin has come many times. Yeah, so you can actually count the number of Mubins in the Quran, and you can actually kind of maybe even just like study those verses and analyze them. So, the idea of the Quran being the name Quran itself actually means recitation. Yeah, this is the interesting part. Quran means recitation. So it was like, imagine when the Quran was being revealed. Yeah. How many Muslims were there? Handful of Muslims, yeah? And then the slowly started to grow. Slowly grow, slowly grow. And the Quran was calling itself, Allah was calling the Quran a Quran, the the the, the most recited. That's what Quran literally means. The thing that is most recited. So subhanallah, think about this. Allah was calling the Quran a book that is the most recited book in a time when only a few Muslims existed. And now in today's time, we know that the Quran is the most recited book. Right? It's recited around the world by men, by women. It's recited in the morning, in the evening, in the prayers. You know, if you look at it, the Quran itself is the only book in the world that befits the title Quran. Yeah, the most recited. So wa Qur'anun, it's something which is supposed to be recited time and time and time and time again. Mubin Quran, and it's a clear recitation. It's not like cryptic, it's not like difficult to be able to read. Yes, some like people who learn the Quran might find it a bit like tricky to try and read, but once they get the hang of it, it's easy to read. So even though it's not your language, it's a very clear recitation. And if you understand Arabic, it's very clear. The message is very clear. It's not cryptic, it's not hidden, it's not like you have to kind of like go to different types of places and different people just to figure out what the Quran is saying. No, Quran is a very clear book. Once you know Arabic, it's very clear the message of the Quran. So this is like in contrast to poetry. Poetry is not always clear. Poetry is like very tricky to understand sometimes, because the poet might say something and you're kind of thinking, oh wait, let me think about this. What is he saying over here? So you have to think about it several times. It's like a mathematical formula. You gotta like look at it and you think to yourself, okay, what is he saying here? Think. Okay, oh, I understand what he's saying here. Qurans are like that. Quran is just, soon as it's recited, you understand what it's saying. Yeah. So anyway, ما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن. That's the reason why I spent so much time on this verse, right? Is because I want you guys to understand and appreciate like how one verse of the Quran can actually become so deep, profound. Okay, just by just looking at the whole concept of poetry and looking at the whole concept of the Quran and how other verses interact with one another to try to be able to give us such a clear understanding of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying over here. Okay, finally, this is verse number 70.